Hi, I'm Barry John, and welcome back to Let's Play Descent Vertigo. I have co-pilots, and I'll let them introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Laylite, live from a mid-2010 MacBook.
I'm Mycroft Holmes.
And I'm Solitaire.
Well, I just got done making fun of the game for not having any new robots, and then they went and added another new robot, so there you go.
Well, the thing I find interesting about it is, it's obviously a military robot because it's got the fancy, Spike acronym to it, but all information has been classified by order of S. Dravis.
So
You're going to have to fill me in on what that means.
They're just going to have to hope that we can discover how it works ourselves.
Basically, you are Material Defender 1032. You've been hired by Samuel Dravis of the PTMC to go through these mines and shoot up all the robots.
So Samuel Dravis is a mining executive?
Pretty much.
He's definitely a lot more of a bureaucrat than anybody who actually knows how these robots work.
Yeah. So I'm using the Spreadfire cannon on level 16 because, honestly, it's the last time this guy's going to have any use at all. And
it just gets horribly outclassed later?
Well, mostly it's a case of I'm just feeling bad for it because, it's a...
The Helios cannon exists?
Yeah.
So, the DPS on this thing is low enough that you will get yourself in way more trouble in later levels trying to use it than you will here in this modest mid-game level.
Yeah, pretty much. And honestly, I mean, there are some guns I just don't use. Like, if you tracked, amount of times I've used certain guns over the course of the game, like, Gauss rifle, plasma cannon, quad laser level 6,
Phoenix
Omega cannon. Like, yeah, I use the Phoenix cannon more than I use the spread fire. And the Phoenix cannon is a gimmick weapon.
Oh.
I mean, at least it's got a high rate of fire.
I think I might have mentioned this before, but whenever you say quad laser, I can only think of the Moonanites.
Yep.
It is the quad laser. You cannot escape. The bullet is enormous.
I mean, that's true. We have a lot of mid-speed projectiles and fast-speed projectiles in this game. I think the slowest things that we have are regular missiles and maybe the mega missile, but even then they're not really that slow. We don't have a crawling across the screen projectile in Descent. That's what it's missing.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, when we are playing with a game where, the speed of your projectile is vitally important.
I mean, I guess technically we have a zero-speed projectile in the form of the proximity mines. That's as slow as it gets.
It is kind of sad to have an arsenal where some of the weapons just aren't useful at all. That's why
they just get outclassed.
Yeah, that's why I don't like playing Black Mage on Final Fantasy XIV. Some of their skills are just dead weight.
Well, here's the thing, I've got 10 primary weapons and 10 secondary weapons, and honestly, it becomes hard to find uses for all of them.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
it's like in Doom where you pick up the pistol first, and then later you have no reason to use the pistol ever again?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, there's only a few, relevant, orthogonal categories, I guess you could say, and there's not really any reason to use anything in the middle. When you have trade-offs involved, you would only ever want to use a weapon on one or the other end of the spectrum. Not like an average weapon.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, okay. Oh, there we go. I guess that's kind of a neat puzzle there. I guess if you actually made it into that room, you'd see that there was no extra door to, nowhere else to go on that side, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm amazed that Sniper NG apparently just lost track of you or something.
Well, to be fair, the door closed, and it might not have been programmed to, go through doors.
Yeah, because at the time I think you might have been, just around the corner of the door or something.
Mm-hmm. But honestly, like, I think once I'm done with this room, that's it for the spread fire. I've used it. There's no real reason to keep using it aside from it being... you know what the spread fire is? It's a shotgun.
But there's always reason to use a shotgun is the problem.
It doesn't do the nice knockback. That's the problem.
And
if you're point blanking, you have better tools for point blanking now.
Yeah, like the Helix cannon.
And it doesn't feel or sound like a shotgun to use.
Yeah, it's a bird pellet gun. I do notice that you are at least running a little low on the smart missiles. Are they going to try and make you run out, I suppose?
No, I've still got one more secret level to go, and it's a refill level. But if you are playing at home, I highly recommend making sure that you start stocking up on your Earth Shakers by this point, because you'll need them.
Yeah, that's... feels like a given for any final boss in a Descent game. Keep your highest amount of missiles on hand.
Yeah,
so
I mean, I guess that's one way to avoid the Mega Elixir problem that you see in the RPGs sometimes, where you just get to the final boss and never use them, is to make the final boss dangerous enough that you actually do use them.
A bit.
So earlier you mentioned Final Fantasy XIV, and for those of you who are not aware, the Secret World recently had a rebalancing update that's actually pretty good. And if you don't know what the Secret World is, it's Conspiracy Theory, the MMO.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
So, do they talk about chemtrails in there?
I don't know if they talk about chemtrails, but it's got the Illuminati, the Knights Templar, and some East Asian secret organization.
Bah! Pedestrians.
Yeah. So the thing about this level here is that there's a lot of these secret passages that are opened up by doors or as you go back through places. And that's the gimmick for this level, basically.
So, wait a minute. Have we seen the Spike yet?
Have we seen which?
The Spike, the new robot.
No, we haven't.
Alright. Usually they seem to put that new robot in, like, the first or second room, but I guess they're not doing that this time.
Nope, you don't actually see the Spike this level. You were warned about it, and they're hoping you forget about it by the time the next level rolls around.
Oh, okay.
So Spike is the end boss.
No. Spike is a generic enemy that I'm going to be dealing with in large numbers sooner or later.
Oh. Well, that's disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to give the designers the benefit of the doubt and say that they did that kind of thing on purpose instead of just, I don't know, reordering the levels and never moving the briefing.
Yeah, I would hope that it would be, like, at least kind of tricky to deal with for how much it's getting, for how little the description says about it and how delayed its appearance is.
I mean, to be fair, I think you would also see a 3D model of the thing normally, which would give away a certain thing about how it works, but we don't have that in this video. So to maintain the suspense, I'm not going to say anything about the model.
Alright.
Aha! They can't steal my energy if I'm not using the energy weapons. They can still steer the energy.
Yeah.
At least they'll have more of it. I mean, I guess if you're trying to use the Phoenix Cannon on those guys, you'll be both missing them and running out of energy twice as fast. So there's that.
Which is why you don't use the Phoenix Cannon.
Really? But the game's trying to draw your attention to it. Look, there's a Phoenix Cannon right there.
You mean the energy power-up?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Now, you see, that was a nice use of the environmental effects. I was able to destroy that guy by bouncing him around and then hitting the lava to explode on him.
Yeah, I guess it's possible he might have even been taking wall collision damage there. I'm not sure how much that really matters, but it's there. Was that a cloaked missile guy behind that door?
No.
Oh, just a regular one that was blending in.
Yeah.
So, do you guys like point-and-click adventure games?
From what era?
Because I was just, for some reason, thinking about Zork Nemesis.
I don't think I ever got around to playing that one.
Yeah, that's the Zork game that doesn't really fit, because Zork games have a tone of... Zork games are silly.
Yes.
I've only played the
Zork
first.
Nemesis is not silly. Zork Nemesis is a very serious narrative with consequences.
Sorry, don't mind me. I'm just looking for the switch to gain access to to drop those doors or the passages there to the left and right. And then I realized, wait a second, it's back here. I gotta double back again.
Ah, yes, at the front of the hovercraft.
With my hovercraft, where else am I going to keep my eels?
I've only played the first Zork.
Well, Zork Nemesis is good. It's on GOG. It's fucking beautiful.
I haven't played.
They spent a lot of times on these backgrounds and this music, and it really fleshes out the world.
I haven't played a point-and-click adventure since The Broken Sword.
Yeah, I would urge you to go to Good Old Games and get a copy of Zork Nemesis. The only downside is it's a DOS box game, so it will run on your system, but you will have to remember DOS shortcuts because it's not.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the lovely things about games from that era is just how good they made the art in spite of e.g. palette limitations or resolution and things of that sort. They really did a great job.
Oh god, remember when you had a difference in your video card between EGA and VGA?
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, that was the golden era of dithering.
But they also have Zork Grand Inquisitor, which is also good. I'd kill for a new good Zork game.
So here's the level in wide. It's actually a very
neat.
well-designed level.
Oh, that is a nice looking design from afar.
Yeah, it looks like a level from a different game, almost.
I just wanted to point out the exit because I won't be using it.
Yeah, it's like actually broken up into different segments.
And it's not an utter mess of,
It almost feels like something they actually drew out first. Like maybe from like 3 different views, like the front view, side view, top view kind of deal.
Yeah.
Something they planned out ahead of time and then modeled, rather than kind of tacking on segments as they went.
Now, here's the thing. Sorry. We get our final coming back here to this little area, and, well, we have the full map.
Huh?
So I'm looking here, I'm going, ooh, okay, there's that area. Did I miss anything? I shouldn't have missed anything. And then I see one blue cube.
Way off in the distance.
A little bit, but fortunately it's rather easy to get back to, so I'm going to go deal with that right away.
Leave
And
no
because
stone unturned.
Yep. Unfortunately, because it is a going into a secret level, I'll be having that full map power-up going into the secret level.
Oh, wow. That's, I forgot that's how that worked.
And just make sure I'm going in the right direction and turn in the right...
Now, we all know there's no up or down in space.
Well, no, down is towards the enemy gate.
Ugh. Fine, if you insist.
Is that a reference to something?
Ender's Game.
Oh.
Basically, the protagonist tries teaching three-dimensional maneuvering to people, and they're like, but there's no up and down. So he says, well, the enemy gate, like the enemy goalpost, is down.
There's always a reference point in space.
And this is the last hurrah of the Helix Cannon. Notice how fast it's just ripping through my energy and why I don't tend to use it all that much.
Not even that.
Yep, after that it'll go into the museum.
Alright,
Then,
so...
then little kids will just look at it behind the velvet ropes and then lovingly admire the barrel patterns.
Okay, I want everybody to pay attention here, because this is an absolute dick of a maneuver. Now you may be wondering, Barry John, what are you firing at? Well, here's the thing. Once I hit it, there's a hidden switch inside the teleporter cube.
Damn.
Yep, and that, once I blow the reactor, I'll show you what it opened up.
So, because the teleporter cube itself is just a cube, there's no level geometry about it. It's just a switch on the wall. You would never know it was there unless you hit it by accident.
Well, okay, one second here. Let me just... So what happened? The teleporter cube is its own physical object in the game. And what happens is that normally you would hit the cube, teleport out, then come back, do the level, come back to this one here. And if you flew into the teleporter cube again, it would just be a teleporter